Welcome back to Askewed Reviews. And I figure since I did the first film, I may as well do the sequel. So today's movie is the 1990 film Gate 2. Here is your trivia question for today. Who is technically the last one to leave the coffin at the end of the movie? The answer will be at the end of this video. So in this film, we pick up 5 years later, where Terry, or as he prefers to be called now, Terrence, is not doing great. His father unfortunately lost his job and became an alcoholic. And of course, his best friend Glenn, along with Glenn's family, have moved away and Terry's all by himself. So he decides to use Glenn's old, now destroyed home as a way of trying to tap into the demon magic that was once there to see if he can perhaps get something out of it. So Terry begins a ritual in hopes of contacting the demons. But three other kids, Liz, John, and Mo, end up stumbling upon him doing so. But instead of just making fun of him or ruining it, they all decide to join in so they can hopefully each get a wish. A demon minion does show up, but unfortunately, John kills it with a gun. Terry decides to bring this little minion back to his home and keep it in a jar. Now, of course, the little creature comes back to life, and it apparently is now granting wishes. So the group of kids begin to wish for things, like some of their family members having a better time at life. And, of course, for some physical things, like a brand new car, bunches and bunches of presents, and, of course, cold hard cash. This is, of course, a very monkey's paw situation, though, where terrible things end up happening with the wishes, including the fact that all of the physical items that they wished for literally turn into shit. So, will this group of teenagers be able to stop all of their wishes from turning against them? Or will things get really out of hand? Now, just like the first movie, the director is Tibor Takas. Filming for this movie actually started to take place in 1988, just 1 year after the first film came out, but it didn't actually get released until 1990. So you more than likely know this movie is just being called Gate 2, but it actually has had two subtitles in different forms and formats. It has also been known as Gate 2 The Trespassers and Gate 2 Return to the Nightmare. Pamela Segal, who plays Liz in the movie, has done a few other things, but one thing you probably know her for the most is she was actually the voice of Bobby Hill in the animated series King of the Hill. The person who was inside the outfit for the captured minion was actually Andrea Ladany, who was also well known as a Hungarian gymnast that competed in the Summer Olympics in 1988. There have been plenty of talks for quite some time of making a third film in the continuation of the series, and in 2008 there was actually a discussion of making one called The Gate 20 years later. So when it comes to the film Gate 2, I was entertained by it and I did enjoy the movie, but let's be honest, it was not a great film and not a great sequel, so I'm going to have to give this one a 2 out of 5. Now, as for the trivia question from the beginning of this episode, who is technically the last one to leave the coffin at the end of the movie? So, at the end of the film, Terry does climb out of his own coffin, and then, strangely enough, both Mo and John climb out as well. But if you wait till the end of the credits, you see that the sacrificial hamster near the beginning of the movie also climbs out. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Askewed Reviews. And if there's a movie you'd like to see get a review, just mention it in the comments.